The world has just turned upside down. There's the smell of burnt rubber, the tinkle of broken glass, and a ringing in your ears. Your first instinct, your most primal urge, will be to panic, to thrash, to scream, to let the fear take over. You must fight this with everything you have. Panic is the enemy. It clouds judgment, wastes precious energy, and can lead you to make fatal mistakes. The very first step in any survival situation is to control your mind. Take a deep, deliberate breath. In through the nose, hold it, and out through the mouth. Do it again. Feel your heart rate begin to slow. This is you taking back control. Now, with a calmer mind, you must conduct a personal inventory. This is a head-to-toe assessment of your own body. Don't make any sudden movements. You could have spinal injuries, and a jerky motion could make things infinitely worse. Start by wiggling your fingers, then your toes. Can you feel them? Good. Slowly, gently, try to move your arms, then your legs. Are you pinned by anything? Is there any sharp, searing pain? Run your hands carefully over your head and neck, feeling for any wetness, any blood, any unnatural lumps or depressions. Check your torso, your abdomen. Don't ignore any pain. Acknowledge it, understand it. You need to know what you're working with. Are you bleeding? Where from? Is it a slow ooze or a more serious arterial spurt? A minor cut is one thing, but a major bleed can end your life in minutes. If you have a first aid kit, now is when you start thinking about how to use it. But even before that, just knowing the extent of your injuries dictates your next moves. A broken leg means you're not walking anywhere. A head injury means you must be incredibly careful. This assessment isn't just a checkup. It's your first piece of critical intelligence. Remember, clear thinking saves lives. The information you gather in these first few moments is the foundation for every decision you'll make from here on out. Don't rush this process. It might feel like time is slipping away, but a few minutes of careful, methodical assessment is worth more than an hour of panicked, thoughtless action. You are your own first responder. Your body is your primary survival tool, and you need to know its current condition before you can use it effectively. Be systematic, be calm, be thorough. Once you've assessed yourself, if there are others in the vehicle, you need to check on them, but only if you can do so safely without worsening your own potential injuries. Speak to them. Ask them where they hurt. Can they respond? Their state will also factor into your survival plan, but your immediate priority is to ensure you are capable of action. You can't help anyone else if you've allowed your own condition to deteriorate through panic or neglect. The calm you establish now will be your greatest asset. It's the bedrock of survival. Your mind is clearer. You've assessed your immediate physical state. Now you must secure the scene. A crashed vehicle is a volatile environment. The biggest, most immediate threat after the impact itself is fire. Fuel lines can be ruptured, leaking highly flammable liquid onto a hot engine block. Electrical systems can be damaged, creating sparks. It's a deadly combination. Your next action must be swift and decisive. Turn off the engine, reach for the ignition, whether it's a key or a button, and kill the power. This single action dramatically reduces the risk of a fire breaking out, an event that would turn a survivable situation into an inescapable inferno. Once the engine is off, your next priority is to make yourself visible. Your vehicle, even mangled, is your biggest signal. You need to make it scream for help. Find the hazard light button. It's almost always marked with a red triangle. Press it. Those flashing amber lights are a universal distress signal, recognized by any driver, any rescuer, anywhere in the world. They cut through rain, fog, and the dead of night. They turn your static, disabled vehicle into an active beacon. This is a critical step, especially if you've crashed on a road where other traffic might still be a danger. You need to warn them to prevent a secondary collision. This action serves a dual purpose. It's about safety, preventing further accidents, and it's about rescue. A search party, whether on the ground or in the air, is looking for anything out of the ordinary. A flashing light in a place where there shouldn't be one is a massive giveaway. It draws the eye. It's a simple, low-energy way to signal your position continuously. While you might need to conserve the car battery later, in these initial moments, the visibility the hazard lights provide is worth the power they consume. It's your first passive line of communication with the outside world. Think about the environment. Are you on a busy motorway or a remote back road? On a busy road, the hazard lights are paramount for immediate safety. On a remote road, they are your long-term beacon of hope. The sound of the engine is gone, replaced by the rhythmic, reassuring click-clack of the hazard relay. It's a small sound, but it's the sound of you doing something right. It's you taking another calculated step towards your own rescue, turning a scene of chaos into a controlled survival site. Don't underestimate the psychological boost this gives you. So, to recap the sequence, assess, then secure. Once you've checked your body, your very next thought should be the vehicle itself. Engine off, hazards on. It's a two-step process that takes seconds but could save your life and the lives of others. It mitigates the risk of fire and maximizes your chances of being seen. It's a simple drill, but in the confusion and disorientation of a crash, you need to have it locked in your mind. Engine off, hazards on. Burn that into your memory. It's fundamental. The scene is secure, your beacon is flashing. Now it's time to actively reach out for help. Your mobile phone is your most powerful tool for rescue, a direct link to civilization. Find it. It may have been thrown during the impact. Check the footwells, under the seats, in the door pockets. Once you have it, don't waste time. Dial your country's emergency number. In the United Kingdom, it's 999. In the United States and Canada, it's 911. In Australia, it's 000. Know the number for where you are. This is basic preparation that everyone should do before traveling. Now, here's a critical piece of information many people don't know. Even if your phone is showing no service or emergency calls only, you must still try to make the call. Emergency calls operate on a different system. Your phone will attempt to connect to any available network, not just your own providers. It's a long shot, but it's a shot worth taking. The call might just go through. It's a lifeline that could be dangling right there, even when you think all hope is lost. So dial the number and press call. When you get through, stay calm and provide information clearly and concisely. This is what they need to know: your location, the nature of the emergency, the number of people involved, and the extent of any injuries. Be as specific as possible with your location. Look for road signs, mile markers, landmarks, or use your phone's GPS if it's working. I'm on the A303, about 5 miles west of Stonehenge, is infinitely more helpful than "I'm on a road in the countryside." This information is the difference between a rapid response and a protracted search. But what if the call doesn't connect? What if you get nothing? Don't give up. Don't just sit there staring at a call-failed screen. Technology can be fickle. Your position in the car, the surrounding terrain, even the weather can affect the signal. Try again in a few minutes. If you are able, and it is safe to do so, try holding the phone up to a window or even slightly outside the vehicle. Sometimes, just changing the phone's position by a few feet can be enough to catch a faint signal. Keep trying. Every 5 to 10 minutes, redial. This persistence could be what saves you. This process is a battle of hope against technology's limitations. Don't let a lack of signal bars crush your spirit. The emergency calls only feature is a testament to the fact that help is prioritized. Your phone is programmed to scream for help if it can find even the faintest voice to carry its message. Your job is to keep giving it that chance. So, find your phone, dial the number, provide clear information, and if it fails, keep trying. It's an active, hopeful step in a situation that can feel utterly helpless. Your hazard lights are a great passive signal, but you need to think about active signaling too. Rescuers are trained to look for things that are out of place, and that includes patterns of sound and light. Your car is a toolbox full of potential signals. The horn, for example, is not just for angry drivers. It's a powerful audio beacon. Don't just lay on it continuously. That will drain the battery and sound like a stuck relay. Use it strategically. The internationally recognized distress signal is 3 short blasts, a pause, 3 short blasts, a pause. SOS in Morse code is 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots. 3 of anything is a universal signal for help. Sound travels, especially in open country or at night when the world is quiet. A pattern of horn blasts will carry for miles and is unmistakably human-made. It tells anyone within earshot that someone is in trouble and needs assistance. Do this every 10 to 15 minutes. It's a balance between making noise and conserving your vehicle's battery, which you might need for light later on. Using a pattern is key. It distinguishes your call for help from an accidental lean on the steering wheel. Light is another powerful tool. If it's dusk or dark, your car's headlights can be used to signal. If they still work, you can flash them in the same SOS pattern. But even better is a good quality flashlight, which should be a key component of your emergency kit. A flashlight beam is concentrated and can be aimed directly at a potential rescuer, like a passing vehicle or a low-flying aircraft. Again, use the power of three. 3 short flashes, a pause, 3 short flashes. It's a language that every pilot, police officer, and rescuer understands. If you don't have power or a flashlight, you have to get creative. During the day, anything reflective can be used as a signal mirror. The car's rear-view mirror, a CD or DVD, a piece of polished chrome trim, even the screen of your mobile phone. The goal is to catch the sun and flash it towards the horizon or at any person, vehicle, or aircraft you see. It's a technique that takes practice, but a bright flash of light can be seen from miles away and is a highly effective way of grabbing attention. Finally, think about visual signals you can place around the car. If you have a brightly colored jacket, piece of clothing, or a tarp, tie it to your car's antenna or a broken window where it can flap in the wind. Movement attracts the eye. The goal of all these actions is to increase your signal-to-noise ratio. The noise is the natural environment. Your signal is everything you do to stand out from it. Sound, light, color, and movement. Use every tool at your disposal to shout, "I am here," to the world. A powerful instinct after a crash is the urge to get out and do something, to walk for help. In most situations, this is precisely the wrong thing to do. Your car is your single greatest survival asset. It is a metal shell that offers shelter from the wind, rain, and sun. It makes you a much larger and more visible target for rescuers than a lone person wandering through the wilderness. Unless the car is in immediate danger, for example, if it's on fire, perched precariously on a cliff edge, or submerged in rising water, your safest bet is to stay put. Think like a rescuer. They are not looking for a person, they are looking for a car. Their search pattern will be based on the road you were traveling on. If you leave the vehicle, you make their job exponentially harder. You are now a needle in a vast haystack. You might think you know the way to a nearby town, but disorientation is common after an accident. A short walk can quickly turn into a fatal journey in the wrong direction, especially if you are injured. Your chances of survival are almost always higher if you stay with the vehicle. The car also contains resources. You might have water, food, a first aid kit, and clothing inside. To abandon the car is to abandon these critical supplies. It's your base camp. From here you can signal, you can rest, and you can wait. Patience is a survival virtue. It's a tough one because it feels passive, but it's an active decision to play the odds intelligently. Rescuers will find a car on a road far more easily than they will find a person who has wandered off into the bush. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule. If you can see a house or a busy road just a short, safe distance away, then it might be a calculated risk worth taking. But you must be absolutely certain. A short distance means you can clearly see it, and the path to it is safe and unobstructed. If it involves crossing unknown terrain, climbing steep hills, or wading through water, the risk is too great. The rule is simple. If in doubt, stay put. The temptation to do something can be a deadly siren song. So fight that urge to wander. Assess your situation logically. Is the car safe? If yes, then this is your home until help arrives. It's your shield against the elements and your beacon for rescue. Leaving it is a last resort, a decision to be made only when the immediate danger of staying outweighs the immense risk of leaving. For now, your job is to make your shelter as effective as possible and continue your signaling strategy. Stay put, stay safe, and wait for the professionals to do their job. You've made the smart decision to stay with your vehicle. Now, the waiting game begins. This is where a different kind of survival skill comes into play: resource management. Your two most precious resources are your own physical energy and any water you might have. Dehydration is your greatest physiological threat. It can set in far quicker than starvation and has a devastating effect on your ability to think clearly and perform basic tasks. Your body is losing water constantly, through breathing and perspiration, even if you're just sitting still. If you have a bottle of water, it is now the most valuable object in your possession. You must ration it with extreme discipline. The temptation will be to gulp it down when you feel thirsty, but that's a mistake. Your goal is to make it last as long as possible. Take small, measured sips every half hour or so, just enough to wet your mouth and throat. This methodical approach keeps your body ticking over without depleting your entire supply in the first few hours. If you have no water, your situation is more dire, and conserving energy becomes even more critical to minimize moisture loss. Now, let's talk about food. If you have snacks in the car, you might be tempted to eat them for comfort or to pass the time. Resist this urge, especially if your water supply is limited or non-existent. Digestion requires water. Eating food will actually make you more dehydrated, drawing precious fluid from your system to process the calories. In a short-term survival scenario, a few days at most, water is infinitely more important than food. You can survive for weeks without food, but only a few days without water. Do not eat unless you have a plentiful supply of water to go with it. Conserving energy is just as important. Every movement you make burns calories and causes you to lose water through sweat and respiration. Stay as still as possible. Rest. If it's cold, huddle up and use any blankets or spare clothing to stay warm. If it's hot, stay in the shade provided by the car and try to facilitate airflow by cracking a window. Avoid any unnecessary exertion. Your job right now is to exist, to maintain your body's equilibrium for as long as possible. Think of yourself as a machine in low power mode. This period of waiting is a mental challenge. It's a test of discipline and patience. Your mind will want you to do things, but your body needs you to be still. This is where the mental fortitude you established in the first few moments pays off. Control your impulses, ration your supplies, conserve your energy. Every drop of water saved, every calorie not burned is another hour you've bought yourself. It's a quiet, internal battle, but it's one of the most important you'll fight. The decision to stay put is the right one in most cases. But sometimes staying just isn't an option. The car could be filling with water, smoke, or maybe it's in a position where it's about to topple. In these life or death scenarios, you must get out. But you know, a crashed car is not like a normal car. Doors can be jammed shut by the deformed chassis, and the electronics might be dead, so power windows won't work. You really need to know how to force an exit. Your primary escape routes are the windows. Your first aid or emergency kit should ideally contain a specialized tool for this. A seatbelt cutter and a window hammer is a small, inexpensive device that can honestly save your life. The cutter is a recessed blade that slices through a jammed seatbelt in a second. The hammer has a small, hardened steel point designed to concentrate all the force of your blow into a tiny area, shattering tempered glass with surprising ease. If you have one of these, you're in a good position. Aim for one of the side windows, not the windscreen. Windscreens are made of laminated glass, which is designed to crack but not shatter. It's incredibly difficult to break through. When you strike the window, don't aim for the center. The glass is most flexible and will absorb the impact. Instead, aim for a corner, just a few inches in from the edge. This is where the glass is under the most tension and is most likely to shatter. Use a firm, sharp blow. Once it shatters, use the hammer or another hard object to clear away the remaining shards of glass from the frame, starting from the top and working your way down. But before you do this, protect yourself. Use a jacket, a floor mat, or even your shoe to cover your hand and forearm. Flying glass can cause severe lacerations. Now, what if you don't have a specialized tool? You have to improvise. Look around the car. One of the best improvised window breakers is your seat's headrest. Most headrests are designed to be removed. There's usually a small button on the plastic collar where the metal posts go into the seat. Press it and pull the headrest out. The two long, sturdy metal rods are your tool. Take one of those rods, jam it down between the glass and the door frame in a corner, and then pull or push it towards you with all your strength. The leverage can be enough to shatter the window. This is, honestly, an act of controlled, desperate violence. It requires commitment. A half-hearted tap just won't do it. You need to be deliberate and forceful. Protect your eyes by turning your head away as you strike. Once the window is broken, carefully clear the glass and climb out. This is a high-risk maneuver, only to be attempted when the danger of staying in the car is greater than the danger of escaping. But knowing how to do it and what tools to use, whether purpose-built or improvised, is a critical piece of survival knowledge. You've made the difficult decision to leave the vehicle. Maybe you've spotted definite signs of civilization, or perhaps the car itself has just become too dangerous. Leaving your base camp is a massive risk, so you must do everything in your power to help rescuers find you. This starts with leaving a message. It's really the modern equivalent of a note in a bottle, a final piece of communication left at your last known location. And honestly, this is non-negotiable. You must tell them who you are and where you've gone. Find a piece of paper. It could be from the car's manual, a notebook, a receipt from the glove box. Really, anything you can write on. Using a pen, marker, or even lipstick from your emergency kit, write down the essential information. Be sure to include your name and the names of anyone else with you. Write down the date and the time you are leaving the vehicle. This is crucial as it gives rescuers a time frame. Most importantly, state the direction you are heading. Be as specific as possible. Something like heading north along the river or following the road east. Once you've written the note, you need to make sure it's protected from the elements and is highly visible. A clear plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag from your kit or a document sleeve from the glove box, is just perfect. Place the note inside and seal it. This will protect it from rain or dew. Now place it in the most obvious place possible on the vehicle. The dashboard facing out through the windscreen is the ideal spot. Any rescuer approaching the car will look through the front window first. It's a prime piece of real estate, but don't stop with just one sign. Redundancy is a key survival principle. If you can, create another sign on the outside of the vehicle. You could use mud or grease to draw a large arrow on the bonnet or boot of the car, pointing in the direction of your travel. This is a large, unambiguous signal that can even be spotted from the air. It complements the detailed information you've left inside. It's another layer in your communication strategy. Leaving these signs is your last act at the crash site. It connects your starting point to your intended path. For a search and rescue team, this information is pure gold. It transforms their search from a wide, sweeping grid pattern into a focused, linear track. They are no longer just looking for a car, they are now actively following your trail. It's a simple act that could shave hours or even days off your rescue time. Never, ever leave a crash site without leaving a message. The decision to walk has been made. You've left your signs. Now you must move with purpose and intelligence. This is not a casual stroll. Every step you take consumes energy and water, so every step must count. The most important rule is to move only during daylight hours. Walking at night in an unfamiliar environment is incredibly dangerous. The risk of tripping, falling, getting lost, or encountering nocturnal predators is just far too high. As dusk approaches, find a safe place to shelter for the night and conserve your energy. Travel by day, rest by night. Your choice of path is critical. Don't just charge off in a straight line through dense bush. That's a recipe for exhaustion and injury. Look for the path of least resistance. Follow a road, a fence line, a river, downstream, or even an animal trail. These are natural or man-made corridors that are easier to traverse. Sticking to open paths also makes you more visible to potential rescuers from the air or from a distance. If you have to move through vegetation, try to find ridges and valleys that are clearer. As you move, you must continue to think like a rescuer. You need to leave a trail, a series of clues that say, "I was here." This is called leaving spoor. It can be as simple as scuffing your feet to create obvious footprints in soft ground. You can break small branches on trees at regular intervals, always on the same side, to show your direction of travel. You could create small piles of stones, known as cairns, every 100 yards or so. These signs confirm to a search party that they are on the right track and haven't lost your trail. Pace yourself. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Pushing yourself too hard will lead to rapid dehydration, exhaustion, and potential injury like a twisted ankle, which could be a death sentence out here. Walk at a steady, comfortable pace. Take short breaks every hour to rest, catch your breath, and reassess your direction. Listen for sounds of civilization, the distant drone of a car, a train whistle, a barking dog. Your senses are your best navigation tools. Remember why you are walking. The goal is not just to move, but to find help. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of human activity. A cabin, a power line, a discarded bottle. These are all signs that you are getting closer to safety. Strategic walking is about maximizing your chances while minimizing your risks. It's a balance of navigation, energy conservation, and active signaling. Every step should be a calculated one, bringing you closer to rescue, not deeper into peril. Whether you've stayed with the car or you're on the move, your final and most enduring task is to remain visible and hopeful. Survival is as much a mental game as it is a physical one. Hope is the fuel that keeps you going when your body wants to quit. You must actively cultivate it. But hope is not passive wishing. It's believing that your actions will lead to rescue and continuing those actions relentlessly. You must fight off the despair that can creep in with the cold and the darkness. Visibility remains your #1 priority. If you've stayed with the car, use anything and everything to make it stand out. A silver sunshade laid out on the roof is a massive reflector that can be seen by aircraft. Spreading brightly colored clothing or bags around the vehicle increases its visual footprint. If you're on the move, wear the brightest color clothing you have on your outermost layer. A bright red or orange jacket can be spotted from a mile away in a green or brown landscape. Contrast is key. Listen constantly. The sound of an engine, a plane, a helicopter, a distant truck is the sound of approaching salvation. When you hear it, you must react instantly. This is not the time to be shy. If you have a flashlight, flash it towards the sound. If you have a mirror, use it. If you have nothing else, wave your arms. Make yourself as big and as dynamic as possible. A stationary human can blend into the background, but movement catches the eye. Lie down on open ground and do a star jump motion if you hear an aircraft overhead. This battle for survival can be long and lonely. You must find ways to keep your mind occupied and focused on the positive. Talk to yourself if you have to. Go over your plan. Remind yourself that you have done the right things, that you have prepared, and that rescuers are looking for you. They want to find you. Your family wants you back. Hold on to those thoughts. They are a powerful psychological anchor in a sea of uncertainty. Don't let yourself spiral into negative thoughts about what could go wrong. Focus on what you can do right now. In the end, it comes down to this. You do everything you can to make yourself easy to find, and you hold on to the belief that you will be found. It's a partnership between your efforts and the efforts of your rescuers. Your job is to stay alive, stay visible, and stay hopeful until they arrive. That positive mindset, that refusal to give up, is often the last crucial ingredient that separates those who make it back from those who don't. Never, ever give up. So there you have it, a 10-step checklist that can guide you through the chaos of a car crash and its aftermath. From the first critical moments of staying calm and assessing your injuries, to securing the vehicle, signaling for help, and making the life or death decision to stay or go. Each step we've covered is a vital link in the chain of survival. It's not about being a superhero, it's about having a clear, logical plan to follow when adrenaline and fear are trying to take control. This knowledge turns panic into purpose. The will to survive is something deep inside all of us, but it thrives on preparation and calm, rational thinking. A terrible situation can be made manageable and even survivable if you refuse to let panic be your guide. Your mind is your sharpest tool. Keep it clear, and you can overcome incredible odds. The steps are simple, but their impact is profound. They are the difference between being a victim of circumstance and being the architect of your own rescue. Every single decision matters. So I urge you, don't just watch this and forget it. Take action. Go to your car today and build your own compact emergency kit. Put in a first aid kit, a flashlight, water, a high-visibility vest, and a window breaker. Before your next long trip, make it a habit to tell someone your route and your expected arrival time. These small acts of preparation are the foundation of survival. They are your best insurance policy against the unexpected. Stay prepared, stay smart, and you'll be ready for whatever the road throws at you. Stay alive.